Good good morning, guys. I'm gonna record this meeting because some people can't make the meeting. So we need to send it to them once they're finished. All right. I'm gonna get this party started right now. All right. So welcome. Many of you got the email or the text about snow. We have a large team, but we need a larger one. So we're just gonna go through a whole bunch of slides that just give you more information about this opportunity. Um, Please at any time, once a video is finished, they're short videos. If you have questions about what we're doing, let us know. Everything is going to be answered, particularly the parts about the money, and how we're paid and how that's shared. That's going to be answered. That's what everybody's here for. But in order for that money to not have any kind of issues, we have to understand the job. So I think that's why we invited you all to this meeting. So let's get started. Pardon.
Who are we? For more than 15 years, the Foot Soldiers have provided professional and reliable yard sweeping, trash management, and snow removal services to homeowners and property managers in Brooklyn, New York. We are the #1 snow provider for snow clearing services of residential and commercial pedestrian walkways. If you own or manage properties in Brooklyn, contact us to help you.
So let me first say, I thought being #1 was dope. It's not. Because we have way too much business right now and not enough people to work on the business. So that's why you guys are here with us today. So very quickly, I want to introduce the team. Because snow is in the forecast, many of the members are not here. They're working on different parts of the snow, but I still want you to know the names. So when you're working, you know who's around. So my name is Barnabas. Most people call me Bus, Barnabas Uber Shakur, Bus for short. And I own the company. We started a company about 20 years ago. So yeah, we've been rocking. The COO, the Chief Operation Officer, is Denise. She's at the office now. Some of you guys who need to get supplies, you're gonna meet her today. You're also gonna meet Earl at some point because he's the one that sent out the contracts and the agreements to you to get you logged in so that we can work together. And finally, I just see her now logging in. We got Cortina, who is the lead tech. And Cortina actually started as a shoveler, and now she works, essentially full time with the company doing maintenance work, and she manages the logistics. I see her audio is connecting, so after it connects, I'll allow her to introduce herself. So that's the team. That's the leadership team here.
Many property owners and managers, better known as our customers, visit our website to book seasonal or one-time snow clearing services in locations we currently serve. When snow is forecasted, Foot Soldiers sends a text to registered shovelers for an opportunity to opt into work and prepare to shovel. Most of our customers are pre-registered and receive automatic snow clearing services for the season. New customers can request snow removal services before, during, and after a storm.
So I want to highlight some things, and we're going to have some key points from the videos. And keep in mind, if you have a question about how the process works, you can ask it. So we have registered clients. They have already been logged in with their credit cards for the services. They are ready to go. We have hundreds of clients. What we're looking for is to have enough workers to meet those clients. So let me be clear. When I started this company, I started when I was 20 years old, I'm 40 now, right? When I started this company, I was one of those young little hustlers going out shoveling snow, knocking on doors and doing that. Hard work, because you're knocking on doors for hours before you get somebody who say, yeah, go ahead and shovel my snow. So we systemized that, and now we have people pre-registered. So that's how this works. So if you're in a neighborhood, we have houses around you, especially if you're from Brooklyn. All right, so just letting you know where we get our clients from. Go ahead, Marlon, you had a question? All right, good money. All right, so I guess so just to give you guys some information about how we work. We start for the most part when the snow stops. Now, this particular storm, we're going to start a little bit before it stops, but we give the okay. So we say, hey, we're going to send a text notification in the same platform where you get text notifications now, and we're going to say, okay, to start shoveling snow. Once it's okay to start shoveling snow, you got about 30 or so minutes. And sometimes, actually, what we're going to do more than likely, instead of saying an okay to start also tomorrow, tonight we're going to, when we watch the weather one more time, we'll send a text out and say, okay, we want to start tomorrow at 3 o'clock. That's the start time. Now, you may start a little bit, after, or whatever the case is, but we really need people to start closer to the time. And we'll explain why, as you learn about our process. Legally, we are a legal business. So legally, our clients have to have their snow removed within 4 hours. That's why when we put a time, we look at when the snow is stopping. So the start time isn't when we want. A lot of people say, hey, when do we start? I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know when to start. When does the snow stop? You understand? So just understand a little bit about that. We work 24/7, nights, days, weekends, holidays, birthdays, your girl birthday, anniversary, your kid birthday. We work, that's when we work. Do you have to work? No, you're a contractor. You don't have to work unless you opt in, which we're going to discuss more later. So once you opt in, then the expectation is, you're going to work. So most of you guys here now, unless you were referred by someone else, probably already opted in. The reason we have to have this meeting is so that you can understand how the process works. Also, we service Brooklyn communities. Primarily right now. We're growing fast, and I'm sure within the next year or two, we'll be all over the city the way we're growing. But right now, these are our primary neighborhoods, but we're all over. Matter of fact, let me just look at those neighborhoods, and I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna stop my screen share for a second and give you another screen share to show you a little fun fact. This right here, the blues are our neighborhoods. Now, I know it looks like a lot, but it looks like a lot more when we zoom in because the houses are on top of each other. So we have, there are houses on top of each other that you can't see because they're on the same block. All of these black houses are people who called asking us for service, but they're too far from where our current contractors are, and we can't service them right now. So we have a lot of people, over 100, all the way down to Queens. I can scroll all over the map and go to Staten Island and all over the place where we have people who are seeking our services that and we can't meet those needs at this moment, right? So don't just look at these communities. We're growing fast, and the only thing that's going to make us grow is contractors like you guys, your friends, your family. When we start talking about the money, as long as you can work, I don't see why you're going to not want to do this. Who we hire? So we've been in business for 20 years, but we've been doing snow for 15. The last 15 years, before this year, COVID changed it. I'm gonna tell you this COVID story in a second. But before this, it was only employees. Everyone who worked with us, we hired. You went through a W-2, all the information. We provided you with the shovel. We provided you with the calcium chloride. We provided you with a team. We put you in a car and sent you out. Beautiful. Now, here's the problem. COVID hit. We can't put 3 people who don't know each other in a car in a cold condition where you're likely going to be sneezing, just because, like, some people might, just because of the weather, they're not used to it. No one wants that in a car. So we had to recreate our process quickly. So the process is not perfect, but this year with all these snowstorms, it'll be perfect next year. It's really good now though. So who we hire is people with an entrepreneurial spirit. People who want to work and want to work like they don't need. You don't need to be monitored. you know how to follow you know how to meet people's expectations, and you can work independently. So we're hiring people who are with the entrepreneurial spirit. They're going to be 1099 contractors. You can opt in for every job. So So this works well with people who have other situations. You might have another job, you might have kids where you can't leave, whatever the case is. If you have a different situation, it's all good because you opt in for shoveling opportunities. Any questions? All right, let's keep it pushing.
Job assignment and
So
notification.
this is how we work on jobs.
Participating properties, known as jobs, are typically assigned to the closest shoveler who opted in to work. Once jobs are posted, details will show on the Foot Soldiers app in the Open Work section. Foot Soldiers assign 4 to 8 jobs near the shoveler's pre-selected start location. Customers receive a text confirmation with the shoveler's name, image, and up to a 2-hour arrival window. The Foot Soldiers staff monitors the weather closely. 3 to 7 days before snowfall is forecasted, shovelers will have the opportunity to sign up and accept jobs. They will receive estimated start times to pre-treat their accepted jobs with calcium chloride. Upon notification, shovelers should prepare to have their equipment, supplies, and wardrobe ready to go. It's also a great idea to make sure their cell phone is on high volume ring mode instead of on silent or vibrate. If the shoveler misses a notification, they risk losing access to the Foot Soldier application. Near the end of the storm, shovelers will receive an OK to start shoveling text notification from Foot Soldiers, which alerts them that they have 45 minutes to arrive at the first job location that they accepted. Our customers receive status notifications through our state-of-the-art Foot Soldiers app, which builds their confidence in the Foot Soldiers shovelers. When a shoveler takes each of the following in-app steps, automatic status updates are sent to the customer, building trust.
All right, so it's an app-based program that we use. So some of you who signed up and did the contract may have already gotten the app, but of course you don't understand what's going on, which is what this session is going to help you with, right? So I want to pull out some key points from this video. So jobs are assigned to the closest shoveler. So if you don't live in Brooklyn, which some people don't, then we'll find properties that work with you. You get 4 to 8 properties that you can select, typically as jobs. If you've already signed up, you would know that. Members also tip better if you have photos. So I'd like you to take a moment, if you're on the phone, this is our number. We're going to come back to this number again, so you're going to open it up in your text app and just save that number. And while we're speaking, go ahead and send a headshot. So look at this. It might not be as handsome as this young man right here. But go ahead and make a headshot. Pay attention to the background. It's not a lot going on in the background. It's not a mean mug face. We got the mean mug face. It got to be something that's pleasant because it goes to the customer. When the customer sees you, everyone does everything based on visuals. So your visual, your best visual will help the person say, man, I like this guy. This person right here, let's see what we got on. Don Vito did a great job. He looked good. I'm going to tip him high. And we get some really good tips. And we'll talk about tips as we go on this meeting.
Using the app for jobs. To begin, a shoveler would open House Call Pro, the Foot Soldiers app, and log in. On the dashboard under Open Work, select the first job. At the top of the job are 3 tabs. Click the On My Way tab and head to your property.
All right. So as you get the app, you're going to see. So this is one challenge we've had on people understanding the importance of this. It's once you click the blue button, it turns gray. On your way is something you press when you're on your way to a property. So let's say you're leaving your house and you're on the way to the property. You go ahead and you press On My Way. The customer will get that notification that you're on the way with your picture and all that good stuff. When you get to the property and you press Start, they're going to get a notice that you started. Many of our customers don't live at their properties, but if they do live there, sometimes they come out and they want to give you, based on what you're doing, they want to give you a tip because they know you're outside. All right. And when you're finished, they get a notification that you're finished. This is critical to our system. it helps avoid any mistakes. So let's say for some reason your before pictures didn't upload, and we have a client that says they didn't do the work because I don't see the before pictures. What we will have is a timestamp that shows that you were there and how long you were there. That's indisputable. So not following the app is harmful for your money. And no one is here because they want to shovel snow for free. You're here because you want to maximize the amount of money you can make when God rains down this manna. All right. So just be sure to follow, these steps.
Upon arrival and before starting the job. Our customers expect us, so there's no need to knock on any doors or ring bells. Click Start on the Foot Soldiers app. Scroll down to the bottom of the app. Click Attachments and upload at least 3 property photos, including all the areas you will clear. Important note: our images prove that we cleared the snow from all the areas expected. The photos help avoid unnecessary payment disputes based on work performance. The before and after property pictures must include all stairways, the entire sidewalk, front yard, and a profile shot, including all the areas mentioned earlier. Correctly uploaded job images will be visible on the bottom of the Foot Soldiers application.
All right, so we're gonna start talking about photos. Photos is also like clicking those buttons. Not done correctly, we will have financial issues. So as long as, there's no one watching. So as long as you prove your work through your photos, you're good. If your photos don't prove your work, we have to go on what the customer says. If your photos prove your work, we go on what your photos say. So, as the video says, it stops disputes. If a customer says it wasn't done and the photo says it was, we're billing that customer. If they have an issue and we're paying you. So we're going to pay you, we're going to bill the customer, and we'll deal with that customer separately outside of you. All right, so let's get on to some. Here we have some before and after photos. Well, we're going to get to the after photos actually later. So here's a risky photo. This photo to the left looks good, right? It looks good, but can anybody feel like they want to share it? What's the difference between this photo and this best photo? Anyone? No, so I'll do it. All right, here we have a beautiful photo that shows we were there. So at the end of the day, we were there. It's non-disputable. However, this customer right here, what they can dispute is, hey, the person came in and shoveled my yard and my steps, but they didn't shovel my sidewalk. My neighbor shoveled my sidewalk. If this is the only picture you have, then we have to believe that customer and now cut your money in half, whether you did the work or not. So this is a profile shot. It includes the sidewalk, the yard, and the steps. There is no disputing that you did this work here. Our pictures speak, not our words. So if your pictures don't reflect the work that you did, please understand that may, not will, may have an effect on your bill. Our customers are honorable. So they don't pay the big bucks to cheat us. They never do. However, they will share with us, no, my tenant did the steps. No, my tenant did the yard. No, my tenant did the sidewalk. We just needed you to do the rest. Also, if you get there and half of the work is done, we are contracted to do the whole work. So if half of the work is done, do the other half. We'll pay you for the half of the work that you do also. So don't feel like you got there and half was done so you don't know what to do when you leave. All right, and we'll show you what a property should look like shortly.
Our rating module. After every completed job, the customer can leave a rating, feedback, and tip, as you see here. Our customers prefer to use shovelers with ratings of 4 and 5 stars. They trust us with selecting the best shoveler contractors. Shovelers who fall below customer expectations may lose access to the Foot Soldiers application. Fortunately, There are many ways for shovelers to remain 5-star providers. Foot Soldiers staff are always ready to use and share feedback to help shovelers. Want to know more about how to satisfy our customers? Following these tips can help you get started on the right foot and make sure you consistently impress your clients. Clear 75% of the sidewalk and 100% of all stairways. Clear a yard path to the front gate and trash area. Evenly distribute calcium chloride on all cleared areas. Do not leave chunks of calcium chloride on jobs. Spread it evenly. Upload proper before and after photos. The top reasons property owners and managers like using contractors through the Foot Soldiers services are our reliability, consistency, communication, and documentation. For example, many customers do not live at the properties we shovel. The notifications, photos, and work quality help them build their confidence in us and ease their minds of the hazards that snow brings. Our documentation also helps owners fight ECB summonses and other liability issues. Shovelers need to meet customers' snow clearing expectations. Forgetting to clear an area like the sidewalk, stairs, or yard is hazardous. Arriving 5 hours after a snowfall and dark or unclear photos are some of the most common reasons customers give low ratings. Here's another best practice. Customers notice and tend to rate and tip shovelers more generously who go above and beyond their duties by clearing snow off the garbage tops, hand railings, and fences. Don't forget to take photos of all the work you do. Asking customers to rate 5 stars has resulted in shovelers' negative ratings, as customers do not see that as professional.
All right, so just some key points from that video. We have a lot of trust from our customers and our clients. They love us, they love what we do. There's a lot of trust there. People who work, who bang with us strongly, you get more jobs if that's what you desire. We don't give anyone anything. What you ask for is what you can acquire. Just understand that. Our full jobs include 3 parts. This is a big one, y'all, so pay attention. The 3 parts of pre-treatment, which is happening today. Today, all of you will be able to pre-treat assigned properties. Once you're contracted in, you'll be able to pre-treat your assigned properties. Then tomorrow you will shovel those properties. By the way, the pre-treatment is nothing. You spend 2 minutes on each property. So if you have 8 properties, you should be able to be done within an hour. And that's just depending on where your properties are located. You shovel tomorrow, and then you do a post-treatment of more calcium chloride on that property. When you shovel, you're going to clear 75% of the sidewalk, 100% of the steps, and a 3-foot path to the yard and trash. Also, if you have a corner property, we'll go into corner property shortly. And fire hydrants. You spread calcium chloride evenly, not in chunks, and you take the proper photos. Matter of fact, let's look at what some proper photos are going to look like. So this is a short video of this is a very short snowfall, a small snowfall. So what we didn't need to shovel, we just needed to anti-ice. Now you can use a cup, you can use a jar, or you can use a spreader. Now, since you're going to be providing your own equipment, and I'll talk to you more about that as contractors, and we're paying you enough for this not to be an issue. Since you're going to provide your own equipment, here is a piece of equipment that you should consider. But feel free to use, to cut an empty detergent bottle. That works perfectly too, and spread it that way and not have to pay money. All right, so another type of property we do are called corner property. When you have a property like this is 127, right? And you see it's a corner property. You do the entire property, and when you come to the corner, you go all the way down to the end of where the property ends. So this is the building. You can tell it's yellow, and that other property next to it is also yellow. So you do the entire part of the property. That's for snow removal, or that's for anti-icing. But we're on the anti-icing videos right now. So I just want to highlight some stuff there. We use the equipment to anti-ice the entire area. I missed a video on this that I wanted to show you guys, but it's essentially me turning the spreader and spreading on the video. We do the full corner property. Now there are two sides I want to highlight, right? So on the building, this is the front side. So on the front side of a corner property, you will do 75% of the sidewalk, just like we say for every other property. However, and this area right here, everyone know the curb, we clear the curb also. A corner property is responsible for the curb. So this area is going to be cleared so that people could come on and come off without snow. Both entry points have to be cleared. Now, on the good thing is on this side, the long side of the property, we don't have to clear 75%. We only need to clear about 4 feet, enough for 2 wheelchairs that are going by to cross each other. So essentially like from here to here, just a walking path. We don't need to clear all of this side or all of this side, a walking path. Just like you see there's a natural path here. Double the natural path is what we need, because we can't have 2 wheelchairs going down and they can't get past each other. Any questions about corner properties? Fire hydrants, we need to clear about a 2-foot path around fire hydrants also. Now, a completed property with photos should look like this. Your photos should say so much to a client. Now we're gonna dive deeper into these photos. Look at this photo, 75% at least, because this is up to the tree pit. 75% is clear. This is so the customer can't say that you didn't shovel, right? Then we can look at this. 100% is cleared. There isn't residual. There isn't a lot of snow here and here pushed to the side. And look, this person wasn't done. We just look good to our customer. They're like, look at my neighbor and look at me when they get these pictures, right? Now this is a beautiful staircase. You can see the calcium chloride dots. All those dots are calcium chloride. We let our customers know that when they receive these photos, they wouldn't receive it fully clear because it takes 20 minutes for the calcium chloride to make this completely disappear. So they'll never see that, but they can tell that it's about to start working. Also, we clear this front path right here from anything in front of it. See, on this side over here, everything from in front of that path. We push the snow here or on the sidewalk, whichever is closer. And then we create a wheelchair path. You don't know who has handicapped people within their building. You wheelchair path across and a path to the bins. In this case, the bins are here, so that's easy. You just did one path. But in many cases, the bins are over here. So you'll need to do a path just one shovel width wide to the bins. Also, so that's this right here is 4-star quality. It's not 5-star. I'm gonna tell you why. Well, the steps is 5-star. The sidewalk is 5-star. And the walkway is 5-star. You understand? However, this is not required. It's not required that you take the snow off the garbage bin, but customers notice things like that. Also, these pictures are so beautiful, well lit, and taken so clearly. Right before a customer approves payment, they see these pictures. All right, so this is what you see before you approve your payment. And the next button says, do you want to tip? So if your pictures are missing areas and they're not this clear, you'll get paid for your job, but our customers tip at like, $20 to $100 level. And most of it is in the medium of $50, $30 when they're tipping, on top of what you're going to be paid. And you get 100% of your tips. Any questions on clearing sidewalks photos? Anyone have any questions in reference to that before we move on?
Hey, Bus.
Yes,
I do.
sir.
So like right now, you see the snow that's like banked closer to the curve.
This right here.
Well, yeah, that little bank right there. But you know how it would be more closer to the curve of the street.
Yeah, over here on this side. Got you.
like right now, you see right now, New York, this shit is piled up. It's piled up kind of high right now.
Yes, sir.
Do we still like clear a path or anything for
To
that?
go to pass through?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, no, it's too late for that. If a path to the street wasn't already cut, there's too much snow to cut a path, and it's going to take you too much time. So real talk, this happened 3 years ago. 3 years ago, it was snowing twice a week. And this is what's happening right now. So the money you guys are going to be able to make is crazy. So what's going to happen is whatever snow from this fall, you're just going to put it on that bank, man. It just is what it is. We're going to have mountains on the side. We can't clear a path right now to the street because we just don't have it. We need to we have too many properties to get to. Make
Understood. Sense? Yep, sure enough.
Yes, sir. All right. Oh, I do have the spreading on this. So these videos, we're gonna talk about calcium chloride. Let me share something. Earlier, I told everyone that we used to be employees and now we're contractors. The reason we went from employees to contractors, the cause that pushed it was COVID. But it's something we wanted to do for a while. We just couldn't do it, and COVID forced us to do it. So the reason we wanted to do it is because when you're paying hourly, come on, let's be real. I work, in my life, you guys work. Hourly, I'm getting paid by the hour. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm getting paid by the hour. I ain't getting paid by what I do. You have two kinds of people. The person who's like, I'm getting paid by the hour and I'm gonna just milk this clock. And the person is, I'm getting paid by the hour and I'm gonna bang out my hour. So that messes with our snow removal process. We have so many people who do the job right, but some who don't. So I presume everyone who wants to work wants to do the job right. And if you're doing the job right and you're moving fast, there's no reason if you're moving more efficiently, I should say, not fast, more efficiently or more effectively than another shoveler, you shouldn't be paid the same as them. We're in a capitalistic country. You should get paid based on how you produce. So when we change it over to contractors, you get paid on how you produce. You're going to get a percentage, which we're going to break down later. You're going to get a percentage of what we pay what we get paid, and all of this is open information. But because we're doing a percentage, we can no longer afford to provide the shovels and the equipment. You have to pay for that. However, you have two options. You can get it from your local Home Depot, some people that work with us already produce snow and you could get it from your own inventory, or you can get it from us. We sell product to our clients. However, our shovelers get it to us at the cost we pay for it. We get our calcium chloride wholesale. So you can get it from us, which is more likely going to be better than you can get it in Home Depot. And try to get calcium chloride now in Home Depot might be hard because everyone else is trying to get it. We get it from the supplier, just an FYI. So you'll see that shovels are $10, 25-pound bags are $15, and 20-pound bags, 50-pound bags for drivers. Drivers are going to get 50-pound bags for $20. When we start talking the money, you'll realize how much that's nothing. Like our people now don't really care about that. Only when you first coming in, you think it means something. We're paying way too much for that to mean anything. So let's talk about the equipment we use.
Equipment and supplies quality module. Our customers expect that shovelers use plastic equipment and always use calcium chloride. Customers expect shovelers only to use metal equipment for de-icing sidewalks.
So metal equipment like ice picks or whatever the case is, that is important to have. It's a best practice to have, but not to use on steps. It will damage a brownstone staircase. And keep in mind, when you're working as a contractor, you're listed on, you're the contractor, you're the subcontractor, we're the contractor, and the customer is the customer. So if something happens to their property, you're tagged to it. So you want to be on your best to make sure there's no damage to anyone's property. So you can use, metal on the sidewalks, but on steps, you're really going to be risking scratching and damaging, and people want us to compensate for that. So that rarely happens because we use plastic. So I just want you to know, we're not watching or monitoring what you're doing. So if you decide to go off rail, you do have some responsibility in that matter. Same thing with salt. sodium chloride, which is probably all that they have in Home Depot right now, and magnesium chloride. We are only expected by our clients to use calcium chloride on their property. Yes, it costs more, but it does not damage their property. So a bag of salt might be $6. But salt looks way different than calcium chloride, and the clients will take pictures and send it to us, and that'll be the end of anyone contracting with us, because we're very clear that we only use calcium chloride. We don't even use the term salt in our language. If we use the word calcium chloride. So this video right here is the video I was speaking about earlier in how we do our calcium on our spreading. Keep in mind, since you're paying for this, if you had a spreader, you will save a lot of money, because a spreader makes your calcium chloride go long versus you pouring it from a cup. The property, make sure that the property address completely matches the property on your phone. So we're doing 117. This is 117. We're making sure. If the property didn't have an address, we can look for a yard sign, a foot soldier's yard sign. This property does not have a foot soldier's yard sign. If it doesn't have a foot soldier's yard sign and it doesn't have an address, look at the address at the properties to the left and to the right of it. Each property goes by 2. So if this is 117, the next property should be 115, and the next property up should be 119. Once you're ready to do the
equipment and supplies quality.
I want to pause on that point. Now, I know everyone knows addresses, but you're only paid for shoveling the right property. So if you shovel the neighbor's property, you just volunteered your services for the neighbor, and someone still needs to shovel that property. We can only pay for what we're providing. So be sure you're on the right property. Many properties don't have the right addresses, not the right addresses, don't have an address sign. So, you have to know, if you're from New York, you know how to find your address. You have to know that you're on the right property. And you have to know that you're not serviced when you're doing the sidewalk. You're not doing the steps for the right property, but the sidewalk for the wrong property. Pay attention to the address that you're servicing, because we are unable to pay for any work. We're only able to pay, let me say, for you doing the correct work. Any incorrect work is on you. Now, yes, you can go back and fix it, of course, but if you can't, it's our obligation to find a shoveler who can, but we can't pay you for work that is not the work that we contracted you to do. So that's just the addresses piece. You hold the trigger down and you slowly turn. Come on. This spreads the product evenly, and it doesn't allow us to waste the product. If it gets stuck, go backwards. Turn it backwards instead of forward if the device gets stuck. Once you turn the device backwards instead of forward. You spread it around all the areas of the property, inside the yard. That's where the garbage area. That snow is so short. The calcium is going to melt everything on top of the garbage cans. Once you finish, you cross back the gate. Take a photo on Salesforce using Salesforce's Post app, and then and then you press the anti-icing button. The anti-icing button lets me and the rest of the team know that you have completed the property, and the post button lets the customer know that we did the property. So essentially we switch platforms from one to another, but it's essentially the same thing. You press finish when you're done, and it lets the customer know. Any questions about calcium chloride spreading or addresses before we go to the next page? Okay.
Accepting shoveling assignments. Foot soldiers initially assign up to 8 jobs per shoveler. Active shovelers are awarded more jobs. Exceptional shovelers can request and accept additional jobs while in the field. Shovelers receive a text message to confirm their availability to work during approaching storms. When you accept work, you are typically the closest person to the customer. If you do not accept, your shoveling opportunities will go to another shoveler. Foot Soldiers provides snow removal service 24/7, including the day, nights, weekends, and holidays. As a result, specific jobs will be available at off-peak hours. Because such jobs are often less desirable, these assignments have a pay bump, described later.
So we're getting ready soon to get into the money. Again, you get up to 8 properties. You can request more jobs while you're in the field. If you're killing it, you're like, man, I want to work more. You know, let us know when you got like a property or 2 left, and we'll find properties that's near you if they're available. 40% is what you get for all jobs completed between 6 and 7:59 p.m. of what the member pays, and we'll show you what the member pays, and you could go to our website and see it on your own. Also, you get 50% between 8 p.m. and 5:59. Now, we start once the snow is done. So, you know, if you don't start your properties on time, they may be reassigned on the time that we say it's good to start. They may be reassigned to someone else who's starting because you're trying to wait for the 50%. Don't wait for the 50%, work. As you're working, you know, any job that happens after the 8 o'clock will be booked off peak. So, and you'll get time for that.
Accepting.
So we're going to talk a little bit about canceling jobs.
Canceling module. Once a shoveler opts in for a particular snowfall, they can cancel 24 hours before the snowfall is forecasted to begin by emailing services@myfootsoldiers.com or texting 718-684-1014. If a shoveler cannot complete their assigned jobs, notify the dispatcher through the Foot Soldier app or call 718-684-1014. Extension 2 immediately. For support, a dispatcher is assigned to every job. Click their name and call them so that we can ensure the customer receives services. Shovelers who cancel jobs without sufficient notice may lose access to the Foot Soldier app. If you arrive at a property to shovel and it's already cleared, we require photo documentation for every job. Take and upload photos showing the sidewalk, yard, and stairs. Write a private note on the job stating that snow was already cleared upon arrival. Don't worry, in those few cases, we don't waste time. We earn a smaller trip fee. Here are the options for shovelers who arrive at a property that is already partially cleared. Let's say someone already shoveled the sidewalk, but the stairs and yard are still full of snow. Take the before photos. Clear the yard and stairways. We will charge the customer for either a full or partial service depending on the amount of snow the shoveler removed. To avoid payment issues, be sure to write a private note on the job stating that the property was already partially completed upon arrival. If your cancellations bring you a rating below customer expectations, you may lose access to the app. Foot soldiers and customers reserve the right to cancel a shoveler's job at any time.
So let's, cancellations is something we want to highlight here. You guys are contractors and you may opt in for a job 7 days before, 5 days before a storm, but something happens in your life where you can't work. If it's 24 hours before the storm and you text us and you say, hey, I can't work, no problem. We'll get another shoveler, no problem. However, it takes a lot of work to schedule contractors to get you the jobs and to manage that entire process. So within 24 hours, it becomes an inconvenience that may, if it happens too often, may make us not accept you, give you jobs, or only give you a limited amount of jobs based on your request. So you may request 8 jobs, but we think, man, this person might cancel. We can only give them 3 jobs because we're not sure and we don't want to reschedule 8 jobs. Let's say on a snow day, when it's snowing, to cancel a job at that point is a reason, barring some type of dire emergency, is a reason that we may want to end a contract with a contractor. So just be aware of your cancellations. Now, customers can cancel, and if they cancel your property, it'll just be removed from your route and you just won't see. If you had 8 jobs, you'll see 7. That just meant a customer canceled. Also, please note, at a property, a person you see is not necessarily the owner. Most of our owners and the people who manage the properties we serve don't live or work at the property. So the only people to communicate with about a property is us. If anyone speaks to you at a property, you say, I have to contact my company, and they'll contact the owner. because you just go to do what your job is. If they ask you to do anything additional, say please contact the company because we have specific instructions, or you can contact the company. If you go to a property and you saw those pictures earlier of what it looks like when a property is done, if it doesn't look like that, if the steps look good and the yard looks good but the sidewalk isn't done, then that means you finished the sidewalk, because someone at that property might not have been the owner, may have done the steps because they want to get down safely, and may have done the yard, but could have said screw the sidewalk. So you now, would have to are still responsible to meet the expectations of clearing the sidewalk. Your before pictures would show that the steps was already done and that the sidewalk wasn't. Your after pictures will show that the yard was done and the sidewalk was done by you. You'll put a note on the property saying, hey, half was done, and you'll get paid half the amount for doing half the work. That's simple. Any questions on cancellations as I move to the next slide? We're almost at the money.
Canceling module.
All right, the next cell starts to talk about the money, the next sheet. So let's go into a little bit of functionality of the app. Some of you guys already have
using the app
so
for GPS, property info, and notes. Shovelers have already learned how to notify customers about job statuses through the app. Let's dive a little deeper into viewing the job. For testing and familiarization purposes, once you have contracted with the Foot Soldiers, open the House Call Pro app dashboard and view the upcoming job named 123 Test Property Ave. If you do not see the job, please write a request to be added to the Foot Soldiers by emailing services@myfootsoldiers.com. Scroll down, and in most cases, you will see a Google Map front-facing photo of the property and its address. GPS settings are built right into our app. Click the blue location icon, and you will be able to receive GPS directions to your job. Once you're on the job, make sure you have all the information you need to understand the job. Scroll down to the blue job tags to see information about the property and the private notes that may have specific instructions. Corner jobs earn more money and require more work. If you have any questions about the app that this video hasn't explained, text 718-684-1014 and a representative will reach out to you. If snow is in the forecast, our responses may be slower.
All right, so I mean, that's pretty clear. So that's pretty clear in reference to using the app.
Using the app for GPS. Payment module. Foot Soldiers utilizes a mobile-based payment platform. Customers have 2 days to review your work, manually make their electronic payments, including any discretionary tips. Tips are not required, and at the sole discretion of the customer, you receive 100% of any customer tip. Shovelers shall receive payment 14 days after jobs are completed. Direct deposit. Shovelers have consented to direct deposit in their agreement. All shovelers are paid via direct deposit within 14 days of job completion. To set up your direct deposit, complete the electronic W-9 form emailed to you. If the name on the form is an individual, a social security card and government-issued photo ID is required. If you did not receive this email, please email services@myfootsoldiers.com. Foot Soldiers shares revenue with shovelers according to fee structures that are determined by the type of assignment that was completed and whether or not the assignment was eligible for special premium payment. Because the job was at night, between 8 p.m. and 5:59 a.m. Eastern Time, or on a federally recognized holiday.
All right, so as first I see we have a question. So Marlon, go ahead and put your hands down and unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the name of the app was called.
Have you done a contract yet, Marlon?
No,
Have you been
I've
sent
never
one?
done. This would be my first time.
This will be your first time. Okay, so I got. How did you hear about us? Did Did you get a text to invite to this meeting?
Well, yeah, I was referred by
Okay.
my friend Kenny.
All right. I got you. I'll tell you what to do in a moment. Okay.
No problem.
So another things I want to highlight. We have up to 14 days to pay for a job. We've been averaging 7 days of payment. So we just did a storm on Tuesday. We wanted to pay on Friday, but it was just too much with this storm coming. So everyone will be getting paid for, you know, for 3 storms really on the next Fridays for people who work for the 3 storms. So, you know, that's how that works. So let's show the actual money. So this is a just a small portion of the funds. You can visit our website, which is myfootsoldiers.com, and go to pricing. All of our prices are online. We spoke about 40 and 50%. So we have 2 types of clients. The top row is our curbside clients who have been with us for maintenance, yard sweeping and cleaning and garbage removal all year round. Then we have a snow only client. That's the type of client who only came on because they only needed snow services. So for 4 years, both clients were paying the same amount. Here, this line right here is what the customer pays. You know, this year we increased the prices for snow only because snow only are the majority of our snow clients. And it's more expensive for us to maintain their properties. And our contractors, frankly, needs to be able to earn more. So we increase the prices of the properties, right? So let's break it down. If you've ever been in Brooklyn, and I'm not sure where everyone is from, but you know what a townhouse looks like. A regular townhouse is a stoop in the middle of the block. Is a small property. You should know that. They pay $99.99 for snow removal services. 40% split of that is 40, 50% is 50. Same for a medium. A medium is now a property it has one stairway like a brownstone. It has one side like a brownstone, but the building is just a little bit, it's longer than a brownstone. It's almost as long as about 1.5 or 2 brownstones, but it's just longer. So the sidewalk is longer. So because of that, they pay more. They pay $149.99. The split is 60. Corner properties, they pay $199. The split is 80. Now, this is 2 to 6 inches. So for example, this last storm, we billed our customers at 6 inches above the 6 inches. So we billed them 12 inches, which means they paid an additional $60. So which means for a small property, people were getting 64 instead. And this is for our current participants and go all the way to above $100 for a corner property. Now, as you can see, for what will be majority of your work, snow only customers, you're getting $52 split 72 and 96. That's 2 to 6 inches, right? Anything, every 2 inches above is an additional fee for these clients. It's an additional $19.99 for this same size small brownstone that it could be to their neighboring brownstone that's snow only. It's $24.99 is the difference. So the opportunity to make money here is insane. And we're only talking about residential right now. We're not talking about commercial because it's too much pricing to put here. It's in your contract and it's also in the on our website. So you can go online and see your potential of what you can make based on, you know, what we make. We're also not talking about emergency services. So when you shovel on Sunday, trust me, on Monday, people are calling us saying, oh my God, we need help. You know, so you see how we charge $99 here? Here's a big number. On the day after, a person who didn't sign up and want services, they're charged $249. That's what they're charged, $249. And that's where it starts. That's only $249 for 2 to 6 inches. Anything above that is an additional $19.99. So in other words, you're making, you're 50%, 40% of that is, over $100 to do an emergency service. And that doesn't include if you did 8 properties a day before on your emergency service day, that 9th property, you're now doing a 50% split with us. So if you did 8 properties a day before and you come back to do emergency services the next day, now you're at 9 properties. So that property that's 129, I mean that's 249.99, you're getting paid you're splitting it with us straight down 125. Now, a question someone asked before is, hey, if we're doing the work, how come the split is the way it is? And what I say is you don't understand the snow business. There's a lot of work that goes in that we have to pay for to ensure that we have these clients lined up. We have so many clients lined up on the marketing that went into that, the management of enrolling these clients, keeping them, communicating with them. We have dispatchers who we have to pay for this work to make sure that the shovelers are meeting the customer's expectations. So it's a lot that goes in to make this happen. So the company is only making under 10% profit from this. So by far, shovelers, you are making the lion's share of your property, as you should. And even though there's so many systems in place to make sure you are successful, you don't share your tip with all of these systems. If a customer loves your work, and I should have had this one open and I don't. We had someone do an emergency service last Monday that cost the customer at the end of the day, because it was 2 properties and 2 large properties, cost the customer at the end of the day $1,000. That person got a 40% split of that $1,000, so $400 for an hour and a half worth of work, and the customer tipped $100. So just letting you know, and that's before they even shoveled on the snow day. So they started off in the bank at $400. So there's a lot of funds that can be made at that point. Keep in mind, if the job required us to work at night, you're getting 50%. If the job required us to work on a holiday, you're getting 50% because, you know, those are harder days. If you go to a property and it's already done, it isn't like, oh man, I don't make anything. If you go to a small property and it's already done, you're going to get your share of $19.99 for that property, 40% of that or 50% depending on what number you're on of your properties. The trip charges go up as it's residential versus commercial. So if you go to a large commercial property and you were expecting to make money and it's already done, we're going to get an $80 visit charge and you're going to get 40. So you're not losing money at all as you're doing this work. Also, let me be clear. These percentages are based on your complete job. So if you pre-treat the property as we need you to do, as the clients need you to do, and you shovel, and you take your pictures and you post-treat the property with the calcium chloride, that's a complete job. That's where the 40% is. Anything under that can affect your percentage, because if a customer says, hey, again, like we said earlier, they didn't do the sidewalk and we don't have pictures of the sidewalk, that percentage goes down because we have to refund the customer some of their money because our images can't defend you. Our job is to defend the shovelers. We represent the shovelers in this business. We are the middleman for the shovelers in this business. Also, if like today is a calcium chloride day, let's say you can't calcium chloride today, but you can shovel tomorrow, no problem. One of our drivers will calcium chloride for you today, but that will take 8% away from the money that you are going to make. So you're going to be at about 32% tomorrow for shoveling instead of your 40%. If you want every one of your dollars, find the time to calcium chloride and pre-treat your property. That is the money. Any questions? I'm going to stop sharing for a second so I can see any questions on the money. Unmute yourself and go ahead and ask. Okay, so if no one is unmuting themselves, I'm going to move on. I'm going to share back the screen. I figured that I did a good job on explaining the money and go to the next slide. Okie dokie. Well, so how do we get paid? We pay, as we said before, within 14 days. Our company operates on a bi-weekly payroll system, which is where the 14 days come. However, when we can, depending on when the snow falls, we like to open a special enrollment and pay on a Friday, on another Friday. So sometimes, depending on the snow, we can pay within 7 days. We only pay through direct deposit. We're not trying to find people to give checks and mail, deal with that. We're paying through direct deposit. This is essentially the snow shoveling plan. You guys now have a full, complete understanding of it. I believe that everyone in this group has received some type of text notification. If you did not receive a text notification from the foot soldiers, Latia, are you active, Latia?
I'm here.
Can you please post in the chat room the link? If you have not opted in for shoveling, there you can go to our website, myfootsoldiers.com. The link is going to be pasted in this group. If you're watching this video later, you can go to myfootsoldiers.com and you'll see a picture for shoveling. Click that picture and there is a opt-in form for you to fill out. You fill out the opt-in form and we'll walk you through the next steps. All right. If you can also text, if you watch this full video, you can also text. No, that's the best thing to do. That's how you opt in if you watch this video. Don't do anything else. Do we have any questions before we move on? Well, we're done. If we don't have any questions, I want to thank you for your time, but this is a great time to ask any questions. Also, if you're watching this video and if you're watching this video or if you're in the call now and you are already in our text alerts, meaning you got an alert that asked you if you want to shovel and how many properties you want to shovel. If you're watching this video, please reply to that text that you got and say, I just saw the info session, so we can mark you down that you've seen this info session and we can move forward with enrolling your properties. That's the spiel. My name is Barnabas Shakur. This is the Foot Soldiers. If anyone with questions can ask it. Otherwise, this portion of the meeting is finished. Do we have any questions? Now is the time to ask it. Brian, you just logged in. How did you get notification to this meeting? Did you get a Zoom request for this meeting? Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Did you get a Zoom request inviting you to this meeting?
Yeah, I got a message with the link to it.
This meeting is being recorded. We'll send it out. You have to see this meeting. This is how you're going to know what's happening with this opportunity. So you missed a lot of it. You missed all of it, in fact. So you'll be able to see that shortly. Also, individuals, supplies are available for pickup at our office at 1:30 today. The address is 12 Park Street. Latia, can you please post that in the group? It's 12 Park Street in Brooklyn, not Park Ave, not Park Place. You will go somewhere else. Park Street in Brooklyn, not Manhattan. Those of you who've completed this video and now know how you're going to be paid, how you need to do the job, you can go get your supplies. If you cannot afford to pay for supplies now, we will front you the supplies and deduct it from the work you do tomorrow. So don't feel like, man, I can't pay for it, I can't do it. It's okay. If you did the contract, if you sat through this whole meeting, we know you want to work, we trust you, we will give you the supplies in advance, and we'll just deduct it from your money. My recommendation, if you are a walker, if you're not driving, you take at least 2 bags. If you're a driver, you take up to 8 bags, because you drivers have the opportunity to make more money because you have the mobility to do more properties. So if you're a driver, don't be cheap and say, oh man, I don't know how this is gonna work, I just want 2 bags. By the way, if you take 8 bags and tomorrow after snow, you realize you don't wanna do this and you have 6 bags remaining, bring us back those 6 bags. We're not trying to front to make money off the bags. We don't care about the bags. We care about the shoveling. So if you realize you can't do this work, bring us back the bags, and then we won't charge you for the bags that you don't use, only what you use. All right. If there are no more questions, thank you very much for your time. Last thing, something I do all the time. This business comes from God. You understand? I am too stupid to have created something this brilliant. This is God's way of providing for his children. So if you're here, you're his child or her child, or however you defer to your pronoun of God. You're a loved one of God, and I call God his. So he is attempting to provide for you. So I can do nothing else but give a prayer for you who are watching now live and who are watching later. So bear with me. Lord, I come to you with these individuals who are trying to provide for their family, who are providing for themselves, who are providing services to communities of people who are willing to pay for these services, Lord. So I pray that you protect them as they travel to the jobs, that you protect their backs as they move, because some may not be as physically fit as need to be to move this snow. But I pray that this snow teaches them how to be strong. It builds their muscles. It builds their integrity and their character, Lord. I pray that it protects them as they travel, as they work. Their family is protected. They're able to add to the rent, to the mortgage. They're able to put food in the fridge because of this, Lord, that they're able to be a productive part of their environment and ecosystem, Father. I pray that they understand that this does not come from the foot soldiers or Barnabas Shakur, but this is a gift and a blessing from you, from the snow that you rain down, that you turn water into something that people cannot stand, and we can make money off of it. You've created a system where we can make money off of it, Father, where people can follow. I pray that they do the work, not to the customer, not to their level, Lord, but as if they're doing this work for you, so they can maximize the amount of income that you are continuously pouring on us in this month of February, Father. I pray for their health in this COVID-infested environment, and not just COVID, they're dealing with other issues and ailments where COVID isn't even an issue to them, Father. So I pray that their household is protected, their sons, their daughters, their wives, their husbands, Father, their sisters, brothers, mothers, uncles, and cousins is protected, their neighbors, as they move, walk, drive, everyone who comes past each person, Father, I pray that they are impacted by them in a positive way. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Bang hard. You guys can log out.
I have a question.
You got a question? Go ahead. Ask your question.
Yes, the app that you were talking about. I didn't hear when you said what app we're supposed to use.
Did you get a text message from us?
Yes, I did.
Please ask your question to the text and we'll send you information.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem. Everyone else, you can log off. I'm ending this call. Thank you very much. God bless. Foot soldiers, stay on.